Show number 140. That's right. The Jimmy Palumbo Show 140. I can't even think of who a number 40 is. That's a bad number. Usually I come up with a number. I could do Lou Piniella 140, but I was hoping there was a shitty guy on
Hunter Lipke, fullback, Dallas Cowboys. My man, Hunter.
140 show here on the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That is right, of course. Behind the glass, your friend and mine. Sports media, sports media capital of the world, town. Of course, I'm here in downtown Mahwah, New Jersey, coming to you from the decent dining room studios, of course, down there in Manalapan. Dave Sturcio here.
It's that Manalapan again. It's fucking
Manalapan. Why do I say Manalapan? Matawan. You know what?
Read, I guess.
You know what? I'm having one of those days where, like, the coach calls a quick timeout. one of those nicknames. And
one already.
And Riley wants to talk it over. Just 11 seconds in, did not like what he saw.
Sure.
Okay, it is the Jimmy Palumbo Show number 140 from downtown Matawan. Your friend and mine, Dave Sturcio, behind the glass, but he's not really behind the glass, but we say it anyway. That's the way this smooth start to the show.
Perfect, folks.
I'm like an old Chevy. Once I get on the road, I'm all right. But it is not good go here early on of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. We got special guests coming on. We got all kinds of things going on here at Shea. And of course, like we normally do, I start the show off it's been a while. This guy in my baseball card stack, I remember, was an all-time Yankee killer. It seemed that way, but he's what a solid. When I give you this guy's stats, even Dave, you're like, what a solid ball player.
Can I just? I have not seen the card. I have no idea. Is it somebody in my generation?
No. Right. Well, but you might remember.
You say Yankee killer, and I don't know why. And you'll know this because we're psychopaths and we know
right.
Terrence Long.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean by that. It's like, you know what? It's a fine guess. This guy, he played a lot with the A's, but he was, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carney Lansford. Do you remember him,
bro?
No way, you got Carney Lansford,
bro. Carney Lansford.
No way. No way. Oh my God. Okay, well, listen. You've got to be kidding me. Now listen.
Not planned.
I swear on my mother.
Oh my God.
First of all, nobody talks about Carney Lansford except the Jimmy Palumbo Show. People in his family don't even, like his wife doesn't even call him Carney. Nobody talks about him. That is unbelievable. And it's a different year.
Yeah, my card's from I don't even know what year this is. Oh, shit.
Remember, you got to look at the bottom and add one. Remember those days? But listen to me. Wait a minute.
87.
Okay.
Which is yours?
I'm going to do mine's 92. I'm going to do mine, and then we'll see if you add anything to it.
All right.
First of all,
wild.
Carney Lansford, my 92 card here. I can't believe it. Third base and first base. He was a shitty fielder. Lifetime bat, played 15 years in the bigs. Lifetime batting average 290. So he's making about $19 million a year now. 2,074 hits, which puts him like way above tons of people. 150 ding dongs, 874 RBIs. He played with California, Boston, and Oakland. In Boston in 81, he batted 336. 4 years in a row from like 78 to 83, batted like over 300 4 years in a row. 1989, when he won the World Series with the A's, he batted 336, had 185 hits, got his ring there. Batted 305 in the postseason. And with the A's in the World Series, he batted 438. He was 7 for 16, lit it up, 4 RBI.
He had to live up to some serious like power. Isn't that when McGuire and Canseco?
All that he was but he was one of those. He was like their Paul O'Neill. You know what I mean? Like he was. I remember him always getting hits against the Yankees.
Joe Sanacor with the best dueling viewpoints on Carney.
And Joe Sanacor with a quick 3 as Jimmy trails by.
You know, the best part, I'm looking at the stats as you're giving the career stats. I'm like, well, in 87, he was like a lifetime 292 hitter. So he got a little shittier as he
well, of course. Anyway, there's some funny things. The reason why Boston got rid of him is because he got injured. And there was this punch and Judy hitter. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Wade Boggs. That was his backup. Yeah. Wade Boggs got like 11,000 hits after that. And so they traded him, but they traded him for a guy I used to love. Remember Tony? You remember Tony Armas Jr.?
No.
Oh, well, he had a dad named Tony Armas. He used to hit bombs. He was totally my wiffle ball kind of play. And he had a rocket of an arm. I used to laugh at that. So Red Sox got rid of him, and then he went to the A's for the last end of his career. Just a complete, absolute little like tidbit. He's 66 years old now. So he won one batting title. Kirby Puckett beat him out by like 2 points. One year could have got a second one. Only made one All-Star team, which that blows me away. He wasn't a good fielder, as I said. He was one of those rare guys that played in the Little League World Series and the regular World Series. That's
like a Todd Frazier type, yeah.
He's in the A's Hall of Fame, and this is for probably Steve Venditti. He got hurt in a collision against the Yankees with Mike Heath at the plate, a catcher, which nobody, even the Heath family, doesn't talk about this guy that much. And they got into a brawl and big brawl on the field, which I remember it was a long time ago. You know what? End of the day, Carney Lansford was just a solid player, not a Hall of Famer. No one says he is. Just an unbelievable solid player. And supposedly he coached for a while, decent guy.
I'm still blown away that we have the same.
It's unbelievable. It's and a different year.
The best part is my version of Carney Lansford. I'm going to get a little closer for you guys. My version of Carney Lansford tells your kids that he has candy in the back of his truck. That's what he looks like right there. He looks a little.
He looks like a creep.
Yeah, a little creeper with that mustache, but yeah.
Oh my God! Out of San Jose, California, just a solid.
You want a really good tidbit of him? Carney is a direct descendant of Sir Francis Drake of the 16th century British admiral.
Okay, now I was gonna say that, but I didn't think our listeners know who Francis Drake is.
I don't either. I'm just reading off.
I saw it too. I actually read like 4 articles on him. Mostly said the same thing. But no, absolutely hysterical. We picked the same card. That is so funny.
And I'm telling you right now, Chris gave me a stack of like this many cards, and I flushed through them, and I'm like, this guy looks like a creep. I'm definitely using him. That's so funny.
Oh my God, really, really funny. So Carney Lansford Day here at Shea. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Same card, different years. Oh my God, I love it. So that's it. Basically, a solid player. Which
yours is a Topps card or no? Is your Topps? Are you a Topps card?
No, mine's a
Fleer.
No, mine's a Topps Stadium Club.
Oh, mine's Topps too, though. So
I don't know what the Stadium Club. This is what it looked like.
Yeah, I know. I had all of those. The Topps Stadium Club ones were the ones that I forced my dad to buy me way back in the day.
Yeah, they were. That was the first ones where everybody was selling them in packs because they were like shiny and nice.
They had like some little plastic look to them, little shine.
Yeah, a little shine to them. You know, it.
Hey, just out of curiosity, and this is going to defy science here. On your card, the 92 card, what does he weigh?
195.
Same here. Okay, because
see if they got the data right.
Well, not even that. I was seeing that once he locked on with guys like Canseco and the other one. He put up weight.
I wonder. I'm guessing. I don't think he did. No. Well, first of all, if he did, he would be in the Hall of Fame. He would have had 4,000 hits. Yeah, he was in the heart of that, though, right in the meat of that shit.
Funny.
Anyway, so Carney Lansford Day here in Shea, the same card. I actually thought about that once. We're ever going to get the same card or something here.
Oh, yeah.
That is wild for me. Of course, speaking of not solid, it is my Patreon, which we are at this point, the segment, it's not even a segment at this point. Patreon is still stuck at 36. I think now I'm starting to question, is there something wrong with the Patreon? Is the Patreon website down?
No, Patriots and Patreon both stink.
Yeah. But I got to give a shout out to my boy, Michael Deej, my boy, Dave Ben, and my boy, Rob Pastor, who's a Kappa Sig in the 80s there. Just give a shout out to them on my list. Also a good friend of Dave Ben and ours, Pat Calicchio, who's not on the Patreon, but he's an old buddy from St. John Vianney in Colonia. And his mother passed away over the weekend. And she was a good lady. She drove us to the mall. Everybody has that mother that drives you to the bowling alley, the mall, and all that. She did that. She invited us in her house. We played ping pong outside under the garage roof there. And she was always around with iced tea, just a sweet lady. So was Pat's old man. Just nice people, lived in the same house in Colonia, just solid, good people, the Calicchio family. And his mom passed away over the weekend, or Friday or Thursday or Friday. I could not make the wake. Felt bad about that. But just a shout out. God bless. Hope you guys are doing okay. Of course, now chasingmiracles.com. That's right. Chasing Miracles stem cell patches here at Shea. Listen, this stuff gives you shit your body needs. My mother still uses them. I still use them. They give you energy. They give you better sleep. They're non-invasive. There's no needles. You can pee in a cup. It's nothing like that. A lot of athletes use them. Serena Williams getting involved. Michael Phelps uses them. All kinds of older people. Navy SEALs use these kind of things. So this stuff is cool. All you got to do is talk to Tommy and Donna over at chasingmiracles.com. They will take care of you and get you set up with these things. These things are cool. It does many things for you inside on a cellular level here at Shea. So chasingmiracles.com, the stem cell patches, which are making my mother's knee feel better. All right. Well, listen, let's talk about the Scarlet McKnights.
So how horrible am I?
They were 6-2. Yeah, that's the problem. The fact that you didn't even know they played is the problem with Rutgers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think like what I did on Saturday.
But it wasn't even. It's not even in the even in the New York Post this morning. They have the spreads, the lines, and the Rutgers Maryland game is not even in the 60 games that they choose. It's just shout out to Paul Simmons coming in there, and of course Robin Achani's laughing at the stupid shit I say. And Yenny Alvarez from downtown Los Angeles.
Downtown LinkedIn.
There you go. Right. She's a LinkedIn girl. She's probably
it's a cult.
Yenny Alvarez is like a badass voiceover artist. She dominates the floor. And she's married to my asshole buddy, Mark DiCarlo, who I love dearly.
Mark DiCarlo.
Mark DiCarlo, we love Mark. I haven't talked to Mark. I got to give you guys a call, Yenny, if you're still listening. I'm due. I haven't talked to you in a while. Anyway, the Rutgers game. Look. Penn State's better. Okay, that's statement number one. And yeah, there's one. The second thing is, I gotta tell you, Rutgers, we were down 10-6 at the half, and Penn State doesn't have a good offense either. And then it was 13-6. We were down by 7 heading into the fourth quarter against the number 10 team in the nation. We ended up losing 27-6. The game got away a slow death, like the mouse in a cage with the snake. We just don't have an offense. We just don't score. Everybody's ripping on the quarterback. I'm very hard on him, but the wide receivers aren't there. The O-line, when we did try to pass, the Penn State blitzed off the end. Our guys couldn't touch him. He was getting sacked all over the place. But you know what? Listen, we played 3 games in a row against 3 of the top 15 defenses in the country. Now, my theory is when you play Maryland this week, who doesn't have that great of a defense, are you going to be able to do anything? And they were 6-2, and now they're 6-5, and Maryland is just as good or better than them. So there's a possibility we can go to a bowl, which is exciting. But at 6-6, we lost. We haven't won since before Halloween. So it's
just in this field, we now consider Rutgers battle tested. So we'll see. I mean, I think that with the game, these games that they've been having. Michigan, Penn State, Iowa, they those are the games that make you better. Right. Those are the good.
Yeah, but how something NFL is different.
I think they absolutely dominate this weekend. I really do.
You do? I would like to say that, but something happens in all football games. Sometimes you ever see in the NFL, sometimes a team gets smoked 37-3. They shouldn't have anything. Oh, they're going to be pissed. The next week they shit the bed, or sometimes they end up playing well. I don't know.
I'm not to bring.
I think finishing.
The Cowboys have an infamous record when after a shellacking, right? If they get their ass kicked, usually 9 times out of 10, they'll rebound and kick the shit, or at least play a really good game. I think that's where Rutgers is headed right now. I really do.
I think it's real important that they finish 7-5, because just to lose the last 4, bad enough we're going to be at Yankee Stadium. Maybe we got to do something from there if the bowl game, if we're both not doing it.
I'm not opposed to going to the bowl game.
Is there a way we could imagine if we did a live thing?
We can bring all the shit. Yeah.
If the weather is clear, it's not 8 degrees or rainy. If the weather, we should do something. What an awful event. We'll be in that shitty parking lot. Oh, it'll be great.
That would be so much fun.
Maybe, and you know what? We'll get our next guest coming on to pay for it all.
Are there any who would they be stacked up against? I know they're gonna either be 7.
I think one of
random
Boston. It's an ACC team. The way it is Big Ten. They all the conferences have conference affiliation. So the Pinstripe Bowl is 6th place in the Big Ten plays fit, so it could be Boston College.
Rutgers,
it could be, yeah, it's not going to be a great game for sure.
Okay.
And believe me, the Pinstripe Bowl is the worst experience of your, unless you go early and go to Stan's. I don't even think Stan's is open when they play.
Did you go? Have you been?
I've been there twice. It's awful. Appalachian State, we get smoked. Anyway, Rutgers hoops 4-1. I know they played Linden and Carteret, but they got St. Peter's on Monday. And then, of course, the big reveal, they play Illinois on 12-2. It's pissing me off because the kid Cam Spencer's on UConn. They're 5-0, destroying everybody. And this kid Cam Spencer, who transferred as a ninth-year senior to go to UConn, I can't stand the bastard. I wish him
special.
So anyway, that annoys me. But Rutgers hoops is still very much in play. They'll be all right.
I got to give a shout. If you're staying at Rutgers, give big shout out to the original, the OG chop athlete, John Paz, who returned to the mat for Rutgers over the weekend in domination form. Gotta love you, John Paz. You're the man.
That's right.
Rutgers wrestling, something do not see.
Well, we lost a tough match. Was it? We played Virginia Tech. It was a tough one. No, Rutgers. You can make the argument. Two funny arguments. I've said this to you. Rutgers really has a much better chance of winning the national championship 3 years in a row in football than they do winning the Big Ten in wrestling.
Big Ten in wrestling is like
because
murderer's row, dude.
One year, Rutgers was ranked 8th in the country in wrestling. They were 5th in the Big Ten. It's like
that was like 2 years ago. I think.
The Big Ten wrestling is like, and where Rutgers is good in the lower weights, but those higher weight, when those big fat bastards get on from Ohio State and Penn State, I think Penn State's won the national title like 35 times. Anyway, wrestling is tough. Now we're gonna get into the NFL here, the Giants. Now, I'm gonna be a little bold here. You're gonna hate all this. First of all, the Giants stink. They're running around. They got 35. Matter of fact, the Commanders fumbled like the guy putting the bags on the bus. He fumbled it outside the bus. They just gave the game away. But the Giants hung in there. They got the turnover. But I tell you what, my boy Tommy DeVito. You know what I loved about him? When you stink, right? And you're like, he goes back into the pocket. He stayed in the pocket and then he throws rockets over the middle. I'm like, this guy, I really get the feeling that his dad was like, listen, this team sucks. You're probably going to get cut soon enough. So fucking just sling it, man. And now Dable this morning was saying, hey, look, the kid is really grasping the playbook. And I'm like, every you know what, dude? I think he's just as
the greatest thing of all time next year going into the preseason will be the argument from within Giants.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
We're paying Daniel Jones $40 million, but we got the fucking next
DeVito
here.
First of all, wait a minute, Dave. Here's why, even though you hate the Giants, but here's why you got to love Tommy DeVito. He drinks in the same Jersey bars down the shore as you do. Even if you hate for the Giants, you're gonna be like, I like one player. He's got the band chains on him.
When he scored that touchdown, did you see his celebration? He did the whole fucking Italian.
Oh my God!
Playing into it.
Listen. I'm probably gonna meet him, and then you'll be doing his social media probably within and you're gonna be like, Jimmy, I love when he does that. Make him do that again. First of all,
now available in Shop Sports custom shop is the Tommy DeVito T-shirt.
I can't think of a funnier NFL story than this guy DeVito. It's the greatest thing ever. And the Giants, they stink. They have no players. Guys running around
this week. If he can get another win, and I believe they play New England.
New England stinks.
So if they can get a win right now, DeVito needs to cash in on every opportunity possible. I say that, get your ass a sponsorship from fucking Jersey Mike's or something like that, and become the folk hero, the cult hero that you could be, because the Giants fans are fickle. As soon as he also throws, at the end of the year, they're like, fuck it, he's done. But now.
And there's a reason why you're rooting for Tommy DeVito, because we played the Eagles twice, bro. If he lights up the Eagles, although I think against the Eagles he's going to get sacked 100 times. Anyway, everybody knows. Listen,
that was your text to me while I was watching my Cowboys do their thing. I got a text, Dave. There's got to be some kind of record. We sacked Howell 5 times in the first quarter. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I know, but I wanted you. I was not sure. I'm like,
more than any other quarterback in the NFL this year, by the way. So that's not
but sick. But in the first quarter, 6 sacks.
I don't know that stat, but I'm saying
But when it
sacked more than anybody else in the league. Sam Howell.
Who press? Oh, Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Right. But no, we were sacked 6 times.
You told me. Oh, wait a minute. You told me.
No. 6 sacks.
6 times?
Yeah, in the first quarter.
So
But in other words, what my point is this. If that's not the record, like what is?
I don't know.
Somebody got sacked. Now, first of all, how many times do you throw in the first quarter?
Just so everybody's clear, Sam Howell does lead the league in getting sacked. So maybe DeVito's on his tail.
I know. All I know is 6 sacks in the first quarter. I'm like, what do you I feel like? Pat Flaherty, the offensive line coach, he's got to be like, we struggled a little bit that first quarter. Oh, really, Pat? How are you? Anyway, I just love DeVito. I hope he doesn't get hurt because after that, I think Saquon Barkley is the
also breaking news here. Former producer behind the glass of this show, Chris Gucci, is actually watching your show right now. He's not here, so he's definitely watching it from home, which means he's snuggled up, drinking his coffee, doing his internet web stuff, and he's watching the show. So hello, Chris. Thanks for trying.
3 heaviest guys ranked in the top 10.
He's saying the heavyweight division for the Rutgers wrestling team is actually really good this year. So
Rutgers heavyweights okay, listen, I'm a little bit behind on my thing. Normally we were good in the lighter weights. And but see, they're ranked in the top 10, but the other 7 are from Ohio State, Penn State. So
right.
Actually, you can make the argument we have the worst heavyweights were ranked in the top 10. But no, I haven't really looked into the wrestling this year as much as I should have.
Troy's asking who's behind DeVito right now. Is it
no, it's Iran Barkley. Or not Iran Barkley.
Iran Barkley?
No, the Barkley.
Matt Barkley, yeah.
Matt Barkley. Iran Barkley was a boxer. I think he's dead. I just confused my too many. You know what? Giants, we have too many Barclays. I don't understand. There should be a rule in the NFL. If you whatever your name is, like the Giants can't sign another DeVito because we have one already. That should be the rule in the draft. Oh my God, we can't. The Giants are going to draft some guy from Texas A&M named.
You know the best thing when I was a kid, I would always think man, what if even if obviously the numbers are different, but I was like when I was a little kid, I was always like, man, what if 2 guys got the same last name, like a Smith, and then that's why Emmett used to be E. Smith. But then there was a time where there would be 3 Smiths, all with this initial J, and then it would be J.A. Smith, and then damn, how many fucking Smiths are on this team?
That's right, Jackie Smith on the Cowboys dropped a big pass, pissed Cowboy off. I remember that.
My dad's still not recovered from that.
Oh, I'm sure he has not recovered from that.
You know what? I asked him that too. I said, how? I've asked a hypothetical. I said, I've reacted poorly to some bad losses in my day, right? But if I was alive when Jack Smith dropped a touchdown like that in his bread basket, I don't know how I would recover. I'm still quivering over the Romo fumbled snap.
Well, listen, the thing that people forget, you don't remember is. Now, Jackie Smith wasn't Travis Kelce, but he was a really, really, really good possession tight end receiver. Might have been the top 10 tight ends in the league. And he was wide open. The Cowboys had it going on. And I used to hate the Steelers back then. So I might have been even rooting for I was a big Staubach fan. I was
Giant fans don't want to hear that from you.
And no, listen, I was 10 years old and Staubach was a nice guy. And the
Army veteran.
and then next thing you know, the guy dropped a pen and it was brutal. Anyway, and NFL Films has that set up so great in forever. See, Troy drafted Pesci, De Niro, Travolta. See, this is good humor. But listen, everybody knows I'm a Giant fan, but we have a special guest now. Last week, listen, my goal, mostly I do charity work. That's what I do for a living now. My job is to give people jobs, and I'm the liaison of time. I'm responsible for at least 60 people getting jobs at Chop Sports. I'm putting Dave in film and television shows. And then I meet a fat fuck at a bar in Austin, Texas with his asshole cousins from Long Island. And his name is Steve, and he came on last week. And he made us laugh. So he's a friend of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. So right now, to talk about the Giant game, we're going to call this segment A Moment with Steve Roman. And here we go. And well, Steve, how we doing, buddy? What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on with you?
Not the Giants, that's for sure. Unbelievable. Unreal. I just couldn't believe how poor they played in that game. I mean, it was mind-boggling.
Won
6 sacks. They had 0 rushing yards in the first half.
And by the way,
Zero.
I'm a big fan of all the Giants fans that were really pumped about winning over the weekend. But then I'm like, all you did was lesser your draft pick.
That's it. That's all we did.
That's all we did.
No,
We win, we lose.
However,
But what did you think of DeVito's performance? By the way, when's the last time Jones threw for 3 touchdown passes?
That's a good point. I mean, I got to be honest with you.
I hate running quarterbacks.
The Italian family style, all you can eat sign to the Meadowland fans was it's like a little secret code. But I got to tell you, bad news, fellas. Really, and I don't know how they even won that game. Dave said they won. Did they win? I guess they did. But absolutely deplorable.
Well, did you hear the announcers were saying they kept on cutting to the coach of the Commanders? What's his name? And the announcer was like, he's probably wondering, how are we losing this game? Every statistic was, but you know what? Listen, can't turn the ball over. You can't do stupid things. And our quarterback finally threw the ball. You got to throw into the little 10-yard area. It's called the end zone. So the goal of the quarterback is not to run for a first down. You stand in the pocket. You throw the ball towards the end zone. A player catches it, and the ref goes like this. That's how the game is played. I'm a Rutgers fan. We never do that. It's 0, 3, 6. This guy threw 3 touchdown passes. I love this kid. And I didn't think he had a bad game. I didn't think he played that bad in the second half of the Cowboy game. That one drive, slinging the ball all over the place against the backups.
The Cowboys were definitely letting their gas,
not on offense. They had all their starters in at that point, but on defense, they probably didn't.
They did it again this past week. They're beating the shit out of Carolina in the fourth quarter. I got Cooper Rush in there.
In the third quarter, it was a 7-point game. The Cowboys didn't play that great this weekend.
They heated up. They were sluggish, but they heated up. They had no
the Panthers stink. Anyway, it's not about the Cowboys. It's about the Guinea from New Jersey, from Cedar Grove, Tommy DeVito. He's definitely going to have a podcast on Chop Sports, and we'll be I just thought the kid had a great game. It's a feel-good story. His relatives in the stands. They look, but he looks like a bunch of jerk-offs. It's so great.
So Jimmy, I'll ask you guys, and I'll ask Steve too. What's a better story this year? Tommy DeVito doing his thing with the Giants and still staying afloat. And no, as far as staying afloat, he has a pulse. Still staying relevant, or the Pastronaut, the Josh Dobbs story right now that's happening over there in Minnesota. I mean, I know he lost a heartbreaker the other night, but Josh Dobbs has been around the league. I feel like he's been literally cut from every team in the NFL. And then next thing you know, the best part is the Cardinals coach went right up to him and said, "Don't worry, we're not trading you." And then 3 minutes later, breaking news, Josh Dobbs traded to the fight. I'm like, what the
listen, I actually watched a little bit of that game, and when the guy Dobbs was back there, my brain, I was like, who's this guy? And all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, I know this guy. Like, I've seen this guy play. Then all of a sudden he was slinging the ball over. I'm like, look at this guy.
And
it just goes.
Me making excuses. I'm like, remember the Cowboys are the lone one of the 2 wins that the Cardinals have. One of them's over the Cowboys. And I was like, see, Josh, he's not bad. He carved us up. And I'm like, he's actually pretty good. Look at that guy go.
You can make the argument that in the NFL, any quarterback can come in for like a 2-week period and light it up. However, there's people called defensive coordinators in the NFL, and the defensive coordinators look at film and they go, "Oh, okay, this was a nice little story. I am going to shut this guy down." And usually those quarterbacks, I mean, the Cowboys over the years have had shitty quarterbacks. And at one point, no, this guy's good. This guy's good. And the next thing you know, he's 1 for 15 for 8 yards. But anyway, Steve, so you watched the Giant game, but you had to be,
frustrating. I mean, did you see Thibodeau hitting the late hit on
that was stupid play by him?
They picked this guy. What are you doing? Dumb play after dumb play, shooting themselves in the foot. I don't get it. McKinney with these late out of bound hits. What are you doing? Why? It's just like, it seems like Debo doesn't have full control with structure and discipline over the team.
Come on. You put respect on that coach of the year from last year's name, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bullshit. That's such a garbage, because he's got that team. Look, and I don't want to be like complete devil's advocate against the Giants here, but that dude has lost the locker room. I don't care what anybody says. They're not playing for him anymore. They're just not. And you could see
I don't agree with that at all. I think he hasn't lost the locker room at all. The Giants played hard this weekend. Listen,
Redskins, bro.
I know, but still, listen. The Redskins would have won that game. That'd be a game out of the playoffs.
Listen,
Come on now.
I gotta deal with those scumbags on Thanksgiving, so they better not ruin my holiday. That's all.
Oh, it's going to be a nightmare. But Delfino getting involved here at Shea. Anyway, so also, Steve, talk to us about. I was excited. I was hoping that the Knicks would win last night because the Knicks haven't lost in like 6 weeks. And then I mentioned something to Dave, and of course they get smoked by Minnesota.
They were 3 in a row, 3 or 4 in a row, right?
Yeah. So now they're 8-6, I think. Minnesota's good.
So they're right around where they're going to start to implode. Whether they're going to bring back Scott Layden from the Jazz, or maybe Isaiah Thomas to run that team.
I love Isaiah.
I mean, that was unbelievable. I mean, and then they brought in Phil Jackson, the savior, threw him 30. The Knicks are absolutely awful. It comes from the top. Dolan is so worried about that sphere last night on TV. I mean, how many times there was Elmo on that thing at one point?
Well,
the Giants are terrible. The Knicks suck too. I mean, come on.
Hey, you keep referencing the sphere. Does he own it or something?
Yes, it's all his.
Yeah, Dave.
Like he put all his. Like it's the only thing he said. He said it. He goes.
Think about that.
However, I heard from an insider about that thing in Vegas that in order to run that thing every night or whatever, would they have a show?
Shut the casinos down.
No, it's like it literally. First of all, it's like foreign countries don't use as much electricity, and number two, I heard it costs like $3 million to run that. Because it's all shit on the ceiling, and they're saying like, unless they get like
Jimmy, it's the rat czar. It's the rat czar from New York City. Has 5 million rats on a treadmill. Now these things are as big as Dave. He summons those rats now. You can see the sphere. Now they haven't showed you the rats in the basement. They haven't showed you below the city how those rats are working out.
That'll be a E60 one day. Like, what have I told you? That the sphere was ran by a bunch of rats.
I think
you're like, oh my god.
I think the sphere. By the way, for some reason I can't pronounce spheres. Like sphere.
Yeah, me too.
Sphere. Yeah. Why are we struggling with that? You know what? The round ball thing in Vegas. I think what's going to happen is after a while, it's going to be like a shitty venue, and there'll be like one of those overhead projectors they used in grammar school with the
they'll be like the J68. They'll put on the 8mm.
Well, speaking of Vegas, they actually just got official. The transfer papers are filed. Man, the Oakland A's are moving to Vegas. That's official. So they're gonna. Brett Ernst told me he's already saw like the construction of the new stadium, or at least where they're going to put it. But now Chris Gucci was telling me, my business partner, he was telling me that these guys are going to have to play in like college stadiums for the next couple of years. Like they're
going to take a while to build, at least 2 years, right?
That's insane. Remember the Chargers had to do that? They went to like a soccer stadium, but when
but you know what? I bet they're going to play at UNLV probably, and you know what? They'll draw almost as much as they did in Oakland. There's nobody there. A sold out UNLV. Right. And by the way, there's probably like those metal stands. You know what? I totally want to go. If they play in a shitty stadium, I want to go see the Yankees play them there. How great would that be? Like,
I think next year, if all the rotation in my head is going right, and like the how the divisions bounce around, I think the NFC East plays the AFC West next year. I think, and if the Cowboys have a road game in Vegas, obviously.
You got to go to that.
Yeah, I'll have a residency and shit. Brett's there every night. He lives over there, so I'll have a way in.
For sure.
If the Giants travel there, man. Wait, didn't they just do that?
They just did it, so it can't be.
Sometimes there's like these crossover games.
Right.
For instance, last night, Monday Night Football, the Eagles and the Chiefs playing. Cowboys don't play the Chiefs this year. Neither do the Giants.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering that watching the game.
Yeah, it's like that one extra crossover game that they're get screwed. But even though,
So, Steve, is there any team that you root for that's any good? Like, the Syosset Wolves? Anybody?
Argonauts in the CFL?
Not really. I mean, the Cosmos.
Hey, listen, fun fact.
You guys remember Steve Zungel?
Are you a Ranger fan or Islander fan?
Ranger fan.
Wow, you live out there and you're a Ranger fan.
Yeah, I take a lot of heat living out here being a Ranger fan.
Fellas, my mother was on the inaugural Cosmos cheerleading team. How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
No, really?
No way. Are you serious?
What? Stop
Wow,
everything. How
that's
could that?
crazy.
Yeah.
How could that not be mentioned early on? You talk
But
about
they
your
need
dad. All
someone
the
like me to bring it out, Jimmy.
Oh my God! You get
Oh, man, I mean,
first of all.
I've been doing this show for a couple months. Not once have we ever said the word cosmos.
Okay, first of all, we're both huge soccer fans, Dave. We cover it all the time. I mean, remember all the soccer segments that Gucci used to do, and now you're telling me that your mother was part of the original. That's so
OG.
great.
Squad, yeah.
I was at the first Devils game, New Jersey Devils.
She met Pele doing that. So like she got to she met.
That's just there's got to be some old photos we got to put up.
No, I've seen him.
That's disturbing. I know what next week it's going to be the Dave Sturt Show's mom day at Shea.
You got like a Bernie Kosar card, and I'm like, who's your card? I'm like, well, I got this D Sturchio. He's a Cosmos cheerleader, born in '58. You know.
Wow,
that was funny today
funny.
with the Carney Lansford card. You guys, that was hysterical.
Bizarre.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. Truth be told, I have a whole.
He was a good player too. He really was.
Well, listen. The bottom line is we learn about things. We learn about the families here. So, all right. So you're pissed the Giants, but you know what? You have to be. I'm a little happy they won. You know another thing, and Dave, I know you follow the NFL like with the crazy fantasy shit and draft order and all that. But you know what, man?
Bad.
You know what though, dude? I should get older. Fuck the draft. You know what? I'll deal with that because you know why? You watch the draft anyway, and there's players coming in and out. And most of them stink anyway. That get drafted early. A couple of guys are studs, some are not. And so my attitude is like, you know what? I don't want to. Like, I want to win now. I want to beat New England. I hate New England. Like, I don't care about draft.
I'm the same way, man. There's a lot of fan bases out there that, like, once their season is officially, like, mathematically toast, they're out there like, I hope we lose and get all these drafts.
No,
I'm not that guy, man. I remember the Cowboys season when it was 2020 when Dak went down, and they had, like, Andy Dalton out there playing quarterback. I was like, bro, I hope we win every game. And then you got to hear these people that are like, oh, draft pick. I'm like, how many fucking first-round draft picks have panned out in the last 20 years?
Yeah, I also think you learn as a team, like, injuries are one thing, but like you learn as a team, like offensive line get more at work, and by winning games, you're showing your GM like, hey, like they watch film, and right. I don't think, and I don't want to. The word "quit" is the wrong word. I've never liked it because these guys are playing. I mean, like, Dak Prescott's not playing for his job, so he can throw 9 interceptions and he's still, he's Dak Prescott. But, like, there's a bunch of interior linemen and secondary guys those are the guys when you watch Hard Knocks, they get cut. Mm-hmm. So, like, nobody's like, oh, I don't fake playing. We're not going to make the play.
Season Hard Knocks starts tonight, by the way, with the Miami Dolphins on HBO Max. So.
It starts cool. Mid-season one they do now?
There's an in-season one they do now.
Oh, Christ. Anyway,
it's almost as useless as the NBA in-season tournament.
Oh, please. But anyway, bottom line is I don't think, I think the Giants are going to play hard the rest of the way, and I think DeVito is going to be the storyline, and they're going to be getting involved there at Shea.
Jimmy, what do you think about the cut? I want the guy that ran last night, the number 1 pick that the Giants had 2 years ago, that's now running for Kansas City, ran all over the place. Wide receiver.
Darius Toney.
Oh, Darius.
Yes.
He's having he's having a terrible season.
He's had a couple of good games. The Giants gave him. You don't see.
Listen, he was my favorite player when you weren't around on the show.
I know he started dropped a lot of. They didn't even give him a chance.
Listen. I think he won the Super Bowl for them last year with a huge run back. That was monumental.
Right.
But he only has. I think he's only got 145 yards catches this year.
Yeah,
so he stinks. And you're talking Mahomes. But speaking of last night's game, number 1, the Eagles are tough.
The drop.
I thought
it was only a Kansas City game.
But even before the drops, I don't think and we're going to get to the stinks list coming up. I don't think Kansas City played well at all the whole game. You know what annoys me about the Chiefs? And Dave. No, the whole.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
What I'm trying to figure out is I think this is what he's doing this to allow people around him to know that he's getting the call in his ear.
Okay.
I don't know.
Getting the play in the ear.
Let me tell you something.
I thought it was a kid I had in the class that had a kid many years ago, and I'd constantly be like, "Do you have to go to the bathroom?"
All right.
Listen, great kid. Jimmy, wonderful boy.
Okay. I told you to avoid that stuff, but you refused.
This was
please.
Jimmy, this was a good thing. This was a wonderful
Feel good
child.
spirit, Jimmy, for holidays, all right?
All right, it's the holidays,
Good
and
kid,
you're
great
retired.
boy.
Let's not talk about what you did for a living because nobody
Okay.
gives a fuck. And nobody
Fair
cares
enough.
what Dave or me does for a living, and
That's
you are in
fine.
third place here on my show. Anyway, the bottom line is, I think Mahomes was trying to, I think he's getting like cute now. It's almost like, oh, I'll just roll out, stop, throw across my body a 30-yard strike. But of course, he started to do it at the end, and the guy dropped the pass.
I say it all the time. About this guy. Like he's
awesome. But
he's the greatest thrower of the football going right now. He makes some magical plays. But I don't know if there's a bigger bitch in the NFL than Patrick Mahomes. He's like the new cringeworthy Brady type shit where you're just like everything that Brady does, you can't so when Mahomes is scrambling, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, he's either gonna make a razzle dazzle throw or he's gonna get hit and look immediately at the ref
for the
every time Mahomes gets hit, he look, what? I'm like, what are we doing here, dude?
And by the way, Kelsey had some big drops as well.
Oh, he did.
Jimmy,
he played. I thought it was one of the worst games he's had.
And you know me with the Taylor Swift shit.
And his brother had a great game.
But the problem is
people down the field.
The problem is with me with that game. Everybody knows listen. Everybody knows I dislike the Cowboys. They're my number one team I don't like. But number two is the Eagles. But I got to tell you something. Now that because the Giants stink and the Cowboys are so much better, it's almost like an understood thing. I think the Cowboys actually can win the Super Bowl. They're stacked with talent. They really are. But the Eagles coach, bad enough I got McCarthy. All McCarthy does is hugging people. Woo, we scored. He's hugging. But this prick Eagle coach, oh my God. Does anybody, I would love, I'm going to get a Redskin fan as a guest next week. This guy, he makes me crazy. I can't stand him.
He's like a kid that you're playing on a pickup game that talks the most shit. Right. You're like, he's got the most punchable face in the league.
I agree.
Matter of fact, Italian flag on his.
I mean, they're doing the heritage thing, but he hasn't dropped it. Everybody else dropped it. He's like,
enough already.
First of all,
Parmesan.
Time out. We got to discuss another thing, and then Steve, you got to go.
All right.
What is with the ugly brown jackets that all this? I know it was for Veterans Day.
Same thing, Jimmy.
What are they all watching Yellowstone? Everybody's trying to.
I thought you recycle those. You wear them to the grocery. They look like.
What are you talking about? The hoodies?
All the coaches they're wearing that brown leather brown
armed.
Looks like a hush puppy jacket. Everybody's wearing these things.
The armed forces representing the
but that was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We're running the rest of the season.
Whole month of November. It's November, bro.
It's all November. It's awful. And you know what? I had to watch the friggin'
November.
I watched the Rutgers game, and they are this. I'm educating my fans here, all 5 of them. The Rutgers are called the Scarlet Knights, so therefore their uniform should be scarlet. Rutgers has black shirts. The red is like a smallest little drop of red. It's awful. And we're the Scarlet Knights. Red helmet.
The other day, I think it was the game against Michigan. Not Michigan. I don't know who it was against, but when they rocked that fucking red, white, and blue helmet, that's dope. I like that look.
Okay, but they were at least in all white. Yeah. What's with the black? Not the black. Now, what is it? Army? It's awful. Scarlet Knights. Got to have more red in the uniform.
Knights are black. Not like that.
All right. Now I'm aggravated. All right. You know what? I'll keep you on for the NFL stinks list. And here we go. Well, this is sponsored by cornholelevel.com. Of course, we well know Dave and Steve have their cornholes are not aligned. But if you get one of these things right here, you just hook it onto the cornhole board, which is sitting over there. I won't get it because I didn't bring it over to my desk. These things are $19.95, cornholelevel.com. And what it does is you hook these things onto the hole there, and it straightens out your cornhole. And to and fro and up and down at the proper angle. Because, Dave, you're the kind of guy. If you go to a party, and some guy's trying to maybe bring chicks to the party, and the cornholes are not level. I mean, you would run to your car. I know you have these in your glove compartment and say, "Hey, I'm going to save the party."
They're my pocket.
They're in your pocket. Okay, even better. And you, or you take them out of your cornhole to place it in the regular cornhole. And these things are $19.95. Cornholelevel.com. If you the code of JP Show gets you a 20% discount. Stocking stuffers, get these. They're all good. They also have some college and pro teams in there. He's getting more as we speak. CornholeLevel.com, and they are the fine sponsor of.
I have a question.
What?
Before we get to the stink list, which I know is some riveting shit, and there's people that are on the edge.
Yes. ESPN's on the phone with me constantly.
Well aware. What happened to the Lawrence Taylor jersey on your right shoulder?
The patch ripped off.
The other shoulder.
It ripped off. The NFL thing ripped off. I'm thinking about getting another one or sticking something here. Of course, it looks like someone threw a donut at me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
it looks like my daughter spit up on you. But whenever the Giants win or I'm in a really bad mood, I just put my Lawrence Taylor jersey on and all is okay in my world. Thanks for pointing that out, Dave. Right there. There it is. The shitty vomit spin. I want to get a new matter of fact, if my sister is listening, very nice LT jersey, but I don't want I want the ones that are very expensive, and I'll wear it. You can bury me in it.
Not for nothing, Jimmy. Your sister split the hat with your mother. How much more are you going to take from your sister?
Doing here?
You're a taker.
You
and DeVito.
You're almost 60 years old. You guys are exchanging fucking gifts still?
Of course.
My brother and I,
she's my oldest sister. She takes care of her little brother.
Buy it for your kid.
I do have one. I do have an LT jersey. She outgrew it. I need one for my daughter as well. But those you can buy the shittier ones. But I want the official one because I only wear them on game day. But
anyway, it's
yes. By the way, the story goes with my mother with the hat. Okay, she said she would buy it for me. We were on FaceTime at the hat store. And I gave the wrong credit card, and I ended up paying for the hat, which I discussed last week, right?
And then he texted.
And then wait a minute,
money back.
My mother was laughing over that, but then I got a little letter in the mail yesterday, a little envelope. Jimmy, who loves you? And she put cash in the envelope to pay for the hat. That's how great my mother is. Wow. And they, please
listen. My father every year on my birthday gives me a certain amount of money no matter what. So
there you go. So you've been there.
My grandmother to the day she died, I remember for everything that I ever did, she'd always slip me a 20 and say,
"Oh, my mother does that with her grandkids. It's the best."
And she would always say, I was always somehow going on some kind of trip. She would always say, like, "It's for your trip, dear."
I know. It's great. It's great. My mother.
Can I just say one thing on that, fellas? My grandmother would give me $5 on the holiday. And you know what my mother did? She'd wait exactly 4 minutes and say, "Give me that." And I just never. Now, when I became 20, give me that, whatever it was. Now, I wasn't allowed to occur anything. I figured at 21, I might have got something.
Now, wait a minute. How long did you live with your parents till?
I still do. No. Not 20. I was out at 20.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah,
I got out around the same time. I was 40. But Steve, it's so great you're doing the show here. So let me get back to the NFL stinks list. And what I do is I just go through and say who stinks. All right. AFC. Miami Dolphins, good. Buffalo Bills upgraded to average. Jets stink. Patriots stink. Ravens, good. Cleveland Browns, good. Sorry, Steelers, you went from good to average. That game was brutal. Cincinnati Bengals, they stink. They don't have their quarterback. The Jaguars upgraded to good. Houston Texans, average. Colts, average. Titans, you stink. Kansas City Chiefs are no longer very good. They are relegated to good status. Denver Broncos getting involved here, average. Las Vegas Raiders stink, and the Chargers stink. NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles, got to put them at very good. They're probably the best team in the league. I still have the Cowboys at good, although that looks like it's going to change. Washington Commanders stink. Giants really stink, except for T.D. DeVito, the story of the year from Cedar Grove. Love it. Detroit Lions, I'm going to put them at very good. Have to. Vikings, average. Packers stink. The Bears stink. Saints are average. Falcons, Buccaneers, Panthers stink. The Panthers really stink, I thought. I watched a little bit of the game. 49ers are good. Seahawks are average. And the Rams and the Cardinals both stink. So, stinks. 15 teams in the NFL stink. 8 are average. 7 are good. And only 2 are very good. That is the Jimmy Palumbo Stinks list. All right, Steve, thanks for coming on. We're going to have you on maybe every week to bust balls. and talk about the Giants and the Knicks and the Rangers and all things we do.
Hey, do everybody out there do us a favor. Go follow Steve's brand new Instagram account, which has got a brand new little highlight reel that I posted this morning for him, helping Steve out get a little launch.
What is it? I'll put it on the chat room. What is it?
It's at Romans Rundown.
Romans ROMANS.
Yep, Rundown.
I can't type now.
So
Romans Rundown.
He's gonna have his little highlight reels from the show, and we'll get something developed for Steve because I think
Is that at Instagram? What is that? Just Romans Rundown.
Yep, Instagram. Yep.
All right, whatever. I'll just put that in and see what. Did I get that right?
There you go.
There you go here, Che. Well, listen, Steve, I know you're now, you got internet at your house now, and now you have, Dave is handling your social media.
I got the Commodore 64 hooked up.
Right. I know. Joe Rogan called Dave and asked him if he wants to do social media, and Dave was like, I'm too tied up. I got Jimmy Palumbo, I got Dave Roman, I got my Met show. So he's just tied up with social media. But good to have you. Thanks for coming on. And hey, listen, happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much or watch football. Have a good time. And we'll see you next week. All right, buddy?
Thank you, fellas. All right.
Love
Take
you, man.
care. Enjoy.
All right. We'll see you. All right. Steve Roman getting involved here. And of course, I don't even know where the hell I am. You know what? I can't believe it. It is time. I'm wearing the glasses. Where am I wearing the glasses from, Dave? Absolute Eyewear getting involved here. From the Omni, you're moving around, Dave. Don't know why. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street.
I wanted to change the thing. The
Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. Craig and Janine Michaud getting involved. Family-owned, brother and sister, licensed opticians. Craig, of course, my right center fielder. And they have a bunch of glasses there. When you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk-off. That's right. They have your attention, please. Now available at Absolute Eyewear. Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors.
And Jimmy still has a house phone.
Jimmy's house phone is ringing. Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar.
You got to be laughing at Mohegans.
It's unbelievable.
You're the last one to read the Post. You're the last one to have a house phone.
I have a house phone. I read the Post daily. Interrupting my Absolute Eyewear ad, which is so fitting because Craig right now is rolling in his eyes. Now, speaking of Absolute Eyewear, they're open 5 days a week. They have discounts for seniors and all that. You mentioned the show, you get a discount. Now, Craig wants me to switch into progressive glasses with the top and the bottom, have the thing and, like the reading parts on the bottom.
Okay.
I am going to look like Ray Charles walking around bumping into shit. It's not going to go well. But he wants me to switch to that. So the discount I'll be getting for those progressive glasses, I'll probably lose them on the first week. But Absolute Eyewear, go check it out. All right. Now, you want to talk about embarrassing. I tried to buy a pair of jeans at the mall. Now, first of all,
I don't even care what the rest of the story is. That's already just money good.
First of all, okay. First of all, and you're not exactly a bantamweight either. You can't buy, Dave. When's the last time you tried to buy a pair? You can't buy jeans at the store. There are all these.
I just bought jeans.
Okay,
Old Navy.
Okay. All right, but the Old Navy didn't have the cheap fucking jeans at Old Navy. I lead the league in cheap jeans. I went to the mall. All these stores. First of all, you have to be like some of the jeans they were selling for men would not fit a Taylor Swift. Okay, all these awful jeans that got holes in them. It's like stonewashed, but not in the way we grew up with. You can't. I went up to the security guard. He thought I was going to ask him where the bathroom was, and I was like, I just went up and said, I was like, hey sir, can you tell me where to buy a pair of jeans? I can't get jeans in this place. And then the one I finally found a nice one in this store. It's like, it's got regular jeans. 80 $295. I said, well, I didn't ask. I'm not going to redo my couch with these jeans. Like,
what the fuck?
I don't know what store I was in. I got aggravated.
You got to get out of there. See, I picture Jimmy. It's funny. I picture you as the type to go and buy your jeans at like Costco.
Well, listen. I bought. Well, here's what gets embarrassing.
Kirkland jeans. I got my Kirkland shirts.
Okay, this is how it gets bad. Somehow I got mailed to me a Kohl's Cash card. Okay, now this is so embarrassing. I go on Kohl's Cash. I go on Kohl's.com, and I actually was trying to order something and get the $5 off, which it took me. You had to be like a scientist to figure it out. And so you know what I got? You know those things where you put your coffee cup on, keeps them warm? A coffee warmer. It was.
Oh my God.
It was $13.99. Now, by the way, my microwave is about 7 feet from where I'm at right now. And I actually got a coffee warmer with $5 cold cash. Could you be more of a jerk off than me?
No, you can't. But I can picture Jimmy at Kohl's with the Kohl's Cash coupon. And handing it over to the cashier, like, I'd like to apply this, please. And like for her response, immediately be like, we don't do this anymore. Nope, this was sent to me in the mail. You have to honor this now.
Yes.
And there's just a fucking back and forth between the two of you. Oh,
yes, that was me, but I did not get it yet. I'm upset. I didn't get my coffee warmer. I'm dying to get it. So on next week's show, I very well much have a coffee warmer for my mug to keep it nice and toasty warm.
This is brought to you by coffeewarmer.com.
Now, I know a lot of people are shocked that I actually watch The Crown. And, The Crown, the TV show on Netflix.
Oh, no.
Okay, let me tell you something. I never thought Princess Diana was that pretty. I just didn't. She's not my type. But the actress getting involved playing Princess Diana, if I was like the Diana family, I would be like, oh, like if I was Princess, I don't know how to make this joke, but it's just like the actress is lights out. She's so hot. It's unbelievable. And so I watched all 4 episodes, which I love.
In the final scene.
And well, they did it very classy, as they say. But I tell you what, but 2 people, I love when shows like the historical shows like The Crown, there's always one character that some great grandson of this guy's like, what the fuck you portray? They made the guy, what's his name, Mossad, whatever the one that she was dating at the time. His father, they made him look like a complete jerk off. And also the queen takes a beating in this season. She's just like, she just hates Diana, wants nothing to do with her. You find out she dies and she's like, why is everybody so upset about it? Like, she just was clueless. She admitted it later on that she screwed that up. But in these episodes, they look like a jerk. But The Crown is one of the better shows of all time, and I enjoyed it. I also got to give a shout out to Gold Medal Mike, Gold Medal Heating and Air Conditioning, showing up at my house because my air conditioning was going on and off. My heater was going on and off, and I was getting a rash over that. It was loud, and he came in and fixed it. Of course, I'm on a service contract now, and once again, Jimmy Palumbo, financial theory of don't make money, spend money. That's the way you go here. So he walked out smiling, but he was very nice, and I told the guys, listen, you got me by the balls right now because whatever you say, you could say anything. Jimmy, this is $7,000. I'd have to pay it. Like I told him, I'm not that way. I'm next thing you know, $300. You call us 24/7 Sunday night after a game, real late. We'll come to the house. I'm like, oh God. Anyway, he was a nice guy. I did stand up on Friday in West Milford at a firehouse. Now, here's the funniest thing. I've done stand-up shows at Knights of Columbus's and firehouses, right? But usually, how a firehouse has there's like the firehouse where the trucks go, and then they have a little catering hall where you go to like bad birthday parties and right?
Sure.
Or really shitty shotgun weddings, that kind of thing. Instead of having the event in there, it was actually in the room where the trucks go. So they pulled all the trucks out. They fit like 7,000 people into an area that sits 200 uncomfortably. There was like all the jackets going around. So I get on stage. I was like the host and middle guy for JJ Ramirez and Paul Bond, 2 veterans of comedy. And I was like, hey guys, what if there's a fire? Like I just picture some guy in West Milford, honey, the house is burning down. Call the fire department.
I'm sure we're violating all codes right now. By
imagine that getting a phone call and someone going, I'm sorry, Jimmy Palumbo's doing a couple of dick jokes here. We're going to be a little delayed on putting it in your house. There was like gear all over the place. It was a BYO. You had to bring your own food and bring your own booze. But there was, you know what? The place was packed. Excellent crowd. I had a really good set. I had a lot of fun. And I tell you, this comedian, JJ Ramirez, dude, he lit it up. He's like a 40-year veteran of stand-up. and I never saw him perform. And he goes up on after me, and he it was one of those things where I scored a quick 27 points because I felt good about myself. When JJ Ramirez got off the stage, no one knew about Jimmy Palumbo, Friends, Vin City.
Double nickel Jordan with the flu type.
Oh, yeah. And then Paul Bond came on, and then he was another veteran. There was two veteran comics that were looking at me like, look at that. The kid's getting a few jokes over there. Give it a microphone. I'll show him how to get it done. It was a great show, though. Wonderful cause. The charity, they do all kinds of stuff there. But the 50-50 money was and the 50-50 money, 17,000. I'm like, well, what? I look at, it was a very white room. That was my joke. I said, oh my God, the nationality here is clear. It was it's not even no African Americans, no Asians up there in West Milford. I was waiting for someone to come out with the sheets, but there was a good crowd. They were wonderful, good crowds. Big shout out to my boy Clickio for helping me out there with that. He got me the gig. I also a couple of quick things. I haven't played pickleball in 2 weeks. I don't know. I just lost. I lost the edge with pickleball. I might be semi-retired. People are too creepy about it. I'm a good player. I just don't care as much as everybody. Everybody's so.
Well, now it's a thing, Jimmy.
No, it's you know what? Listen, I'm on the cutting edge. I want to get I don't know. I'm gonna figure out a new sport like lawn darts or something. I'll bring something back. Something that takes talent. So I haven't played pickleball in 2 weeks. Now my weight. I'm bringing up my weight. I haven't done the weight thing in a while. I'm 209.4. So
weigh yourself on 209.4 today, and then weigh yourself on Friday.
Well, Friday with the holiday, with the 6-week holiday season.
Yeah.
But 209.
I was at the gym today. I was so funny this morning. I was at the gym today. I got done lifting. I was like, all right, I should probably go do my cardio. And I'm like, none of this is fucking relevant. Because Thursday, I'm just gonna pound food down my gullet until I'm sick from it.
Yes, you're going to eat all day Thursday, and there's also football, college game. Yeah,
overs. It's forget it, bro.
The heaviest I ever was 218. So that's my Mars, my moon.
Okay.
But I'm at 209.4, which is still horrific. And we'll see what happens there. I thought that would be funny just to mention. Also, we shot some beer league stuff yesterday. By the way, there was no wind. Even though it was colder, there was no wind. It was like being in the Bahamas compared to last time. We shot some cool drone shots. We had those drones in the air and stuff like that. We were throwing the ball around. And we added some, I can't tell you what we added because it adds to the plot, but we shot some cool stuff, I think. And we had dinner with the crew, and we really were tossing around ideas of what we're going to do with this stuff. I really think it's going to be, this beer league thing is going to be, I think it's going to be better than the first 5 we shot. So the first 5 are going to be more like micro teasers and about really what we're trying to do here. I think we're onto something. Deej was there playing Alphonse. We had a lot of laughs. I did invite Artie. I told him I'd pick him up. But he didn't return my text. So that was that. And also one last thing before we sign off, Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street in Fork and River, New Jersey, 609-489-4286. The best sports bar in America. Owned by Tommy Plinio. Go down there, check it out. They got all the games. He's got all the Amazon games, Apple games, when you got to go outside, with a frying pan to get the signal in. He's got all the games. And also, if you're not feeling so good, you're thinking about, you're struggling with your life a little bit, Lisa Ruane Therapy, 201-725-1251. Certified therapist. Go talk to Lisa. She'll help you out. If she can't help you out, she'll send you in the right direction of where you should go, blah, blah, blah. Good friend of mine. She knows what's going on. Wow. Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. Well, I guess this is our final before Thanksgiving show. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Same thing I do every year. Just go to my old man's and have the family over and, have some fun with the kids during the 12 o'clock game. And then it's all, as soon as 3 o'clock, 3:30 hits, everybody gets to the TV.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many Thanksgivings I actually spent eating alone because I wasn't, I dismissed myself from the table to watch the Cowboys sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But my bonus mom, Barry, has it down to a science now where we usually sit down with about a minute to go in the first half. And then we get back. We eat, and then we get back for the start of the second half. So,
okay. So
we've timed it really well the last couple of years. So I think we're just going to continue.
The Cowboys are the middle game, the 3:30 game.
I mean, it used to be the primetime game, but yeah, now there's an actual night game too to boot. But
right.
They're there at 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever the hell.
Right. There you go. Well, that's cool. I know one of these days you're ever going to have it at your house with the missus, or is it not? That's not just the way it's set up.
My house is big, but it's just like it's not enough. We've had holidays there, but like for a big Thanksgiving, no, probably not. Like I don't have the setup for it. I mean, it's just like we have a dining room and shit, but it's just like
Right. I
when
get it.
we have
Also,
birthdays, when we have the birthdays for the kids, it's just like you can go everywhere, and usually like Miles's birthday is like right around Halloween, so you could still kind of go outside and relax
Right,
a little bit.
That's cool.
That was in July, so like you can just be outside, but cramming everybody in there like in December, November, I don't think it's a thing. I'll just keep on my nets. It's all
I get it. I'm going to my sister's on Thursday. That should be fun. We'll be watching all the football as well, busting balls with my nephews. That should be fun. So I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Give thanks for the good things in your life. And I hope that things that aren't going so well work out for everybody. But you should give thanks. Even if things are shitty for you, there's always some silver lining you can look at. Family and friends to help you out on this Thanksgiving season. I feel
and today's silver lining, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Carney Langsford.
Carney Lansford, the same guy. I can't believe.
Look at that.
Here it is, right there. That's how we end the show. Carney, You know what? We got to get in touch with Carney Lansford.
I do. I'll talk to his people, see if we can get.
You know what? Can you see if he's on Instagram? Let's look that up. We got to tell him.
I blame on it.
That's so funny. Anyway, all right, kids. That's it, Dave. Have a good holiday. Thanks. And just stay on. I got to talk to you about something. Sure. All right, everybody. Good evening. Good night. And that'll do it here from the Omni in Atlanta.